Good morning, everybody. How are you all today? Best day ever. I hope it's a good day for you guys so far. Since the last time we talked, like 2 weeks ago, things keep changing. So we have lots and lots to talk about today. And let's see, I've got a lot of you on here today. And I just want to see who's here. Please tell me if you can see me, hear me, all that good stuff. Heidi's here, Maria's here, Michelle's here, Shauna's here, Diana's here, and Brandy's here. Oh my gosh, we have a full house. Missing a few people, got a lot of people here. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Yes, 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 yes. Diana, can you? Can you hear me, see me, Diane? Shauna, yes, 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 yes. Diane, yes. Okay. All righty, guys. I bet you're ready because I am. All right. So I want to spend some time talking today. Let me move my participants over here so I can see what the heck it is I'm doing. Okay. I want to go back to one of the webinars that we did way back when with an author, Sharon Salzberg, who wrote Real Happiness. And I've talked to you about it before for meditation. And before you guys, whatever it is you think about meditation, I want to talk a lot about that today because there's never been a better time to learn how to become more present. It's always been a good time. But now, because our minds are telling us, but now is different, which it isn't, but it is, but it isn't. Our minds do exactly the same things that it's always done. The only thing is, our minds might be ramped up a little bit. So some of the thoughts that have always been there really get ramped up. So you really get an opportunity to see yourself a little bit more clearly in a circumstance that you really don't want. And probably for most of us, the circumstance right now, right here, right now is something we probably all would rather not have, right? But like always, circumstances are always out of our control. They always have been and they always will be. And when we think of the 5 components of a model, the circumstance, which triggers a thought, which triggers a feeling, which creates an action, which creates a result, those are the 5 components of life. And of those 5 components, there's only one that you can't control. And it's that one that you can't control that if you try to control is going to drive you crazy. But if you try and learn how to control the other 4 components, which are thinking, feeling, acting, and your results, you can control all of that. And the way that we control it is because we start paying attention to what's going on in our minds. There's never been a better time to do that. And so when I wrote here, I've been through some terrible times in my life, some of which actually happened. It's really the story of life. Mark Twain was pretty wise back then, and Sharon Salzberg quotes it in her book. So why am I bringing up Real Happiness again? Because what I think it needs to be a regular homework assignment for our next 4 sessions, because she, in her book, has 4 weeks to help you make meditation a part of a daily practice for you. And I think the way that she does it is brilliant. And when I've talked to you about it before, I've talked about it, but then I dropped it. We can't drop it now. We need to learn how to do it. And there's so many different ways to do it. But I think in her book, it's a beautiful guide, and she has some guided meditations in there, of which I'm going to send you one of those guided meditations by her when I send the recording to you today, so you can use it. It's 10 minutes. And what she recommends is that in week 1, we start with what we call concentration. And the thing about concentration, I just want to read you what she says about it. Concentration is a steadying and focusing of attention that allows us to let go of distractions. When our attention is stabilized in this way, energy is restored to us and we feel restored to our lives. And so this week, in week number 1, we learn concentration through our meditation practice. Okay, so I don't want to get into all the specifics other than to say, please get the book. I have the audio book, the Kindle, and it used to have the guided meditations in it, but somehow it doesn't anymore. So I will send you one of the meditations that's on Insight Timer. Insight Timer is an application that you can get on your phone that has so many different meditations on it, guided meditations from 5 minutes to an hour. So those are things that you can do, but I really want you to read Sharon's words. She is a wise woman. I've worked with her before. I have given her books away as gifts, and now I want to make sure each one of you read the first 2 chapters of the book about why meditation, and then the first week, which is concentration, and she tells you how to do it and how to start, and it's going to be 3 times a week just for the first week. And what I want you to do is pick 3 days, put it on your calendar, and then I want you to do what she tells you to do. I'm going to send you the guided meditation so you can use it to guide you into what she's talking about, because we're paying attention to the breath. And the interesting thing about paying attention to the breath or paying attention to somebody's words is that when you're doing that, you can't be paying attention to something else. And she calls it concentration because she says with us, especially in our society, most human beings, we practice continuous partial attention, which means we have our attention on many, many things at one time and we can't concentrate. And so we're kind of zipping around all the time. And how does this relate? Because I know you all right now, especially, this has never been a better time to learn how to concentrate, to learn how to know what's going in your mind, and then to use it with self-care. Specifically self-care when it comes to what you put in your mouth. Because every single time you put something in your mouth, every time you make a decision to eat, you're also thinking something. When it comes to urges, there's always a thought before an urge. The more you get your mind to concentrate, the more you will see these thoughts, the more that you will be able to do something about it because you're going to see them clearly because your attention isn't so spread out. I want you to really think about that. So the basic homework for this week, before I even start with this, is you're going to get this book if you don't have it. You're going to read, it's going to be the first 2 chapters, which explains it. And then week 1, you're going to do it. You're going to put it on your calendar and you are going to start many steps of learning how to meditate and committing to the practice for yourself for the pure reason of learning to manage the one thing you have control over, and that is your mind, not your circumstances. So when I talk to you guys today, I want you to be thinking about that as I'm coaching you, because the more you can concentrate, and we're going to be talking about models today, we're going to be talking about the thoughts that are creating your actions and feelings and results. It's all based on this. So for a lot of you, the circumstance may be the virus or it may be something different. So before I start, does anybody have anything else they want to add in the chat before I start? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see my writing? Is everything good? I plan on going. I can go as long as an extra half hour today. And so for those of you who can stay on for the whole time, let me know so that I'll put you more on the end. And the people who have to end in the hour, I want to make sure I get them on first. I'm planning on putting Heidi on first. And if you're not good with that, Heidi, you better let me know now because I'm bringing you up. Okay. Love the meditation. Yes, Shauna. Now I want to tell you something about Sharon Salzberg. She is amazing. You can get a lot of her YouTube videos and you can get a lot of her meditations on Insight Timer. But for this week, just the one, I just want you to use the one. And I want you to use it 3 times. It's 10 minutes. So you go 10 minutes with her and then you try to go another 10 minutes. But you can also make a commitment to just 10 minutes 3 times a week. You are going to see, I want you to start seeing while we're all working together, the difference of when you concentrate your mind. if you realize that your mind is not concentrated. And in this time, at this period, there are so many things going on. And for some of you, maybe nothing going on. Either way, your mind has a chance to wander all over the darn place. And it's like, who's going to bring your mind in? You are. Okay, I'm coming to get Heidi now, and we are going to start The Fun Begins. So let me pull her up. Heidi. First, I'm going to allow her to talk. Heidi, you should be unmuted. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. Stay there because you're not a panelist yet. I'm going to promote you.
Oh, I get a promotion.
You're getting promoted to a panelist, and now that you're a panelist, now I'm going to let you start your video. Hang on for a minute. And now you should be able to start your video. There she is.
Hi.
I am amazing.
You are amazing. And I got a promotion and I didn't even do anything.
You got a promotion?
You said you were going to promote me.
Oh, gosh. Okay, well, you are promoted. Let's act as if you are promoted to whatever you want to be promoted to. Okay, so you want to give me a little, can I just read your email and we'll go from there? Or do you want to
Sure. Oh, did I email you?
Yeah, you did, because I told you you were going to be coach next.
Oh, yeah. What did I say?
I reported the news to you way ahead of time. I said, I'm definitely coaching you first. So you told me how much you miss me and love me, and I love you too. But this is what you said to me. So this is where I think we should coach based on what we're talking about today. So you said, I'm busy, busy, busy with my girls being home, my son in New York, newly unemployed, bartender and actor, rough combo right now, and my business being busier than ever, for which I am grateful. I am eating almost 100% off protocol the last few days. So this was a while ago. And feels like self-care and comfort. Wait, it feels like self-care and comfort, but that is just what I'm telling myself, right? And you're telling me this because of our last coaching call when I coached Shauna, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm perpetually feeling hungry over the last month, and I'm certain it's because I have strayed from protocol too often. I am loving my life and much, much kinder to myself these days. I want to feel better physically and would love some coaching on how to get back to making healthier choices for the long term over less healthy comfort choices for the short term. So just know that when you're reading this to me, you're still doing the exact same thing Shauna was doing even after I coached her. You're still calling them comfort. You're still telling me and you're still telling you that you're making less healthy comfort choices. You're still telling me I'm making comfort choices. See that? Food is still way too much of a pleasure activity in my thought process. Okay. All right. All right. Talk to me, girl. And let's see what we got going. Is that what's still going on?
Yes. More mindfulness around the choice I am making, that it's not comfort, that it's feels like it's lowered on the priority list.
What is lowered on the priority list?
What the self-care, probably what I put in my body is lower on the priority list because there's a bunch of other things that bump it down. So,
okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So first of all, what I want to bring to you and for everybody that's listening is that this is not an uncommon thought for you.
No.
Right? And that's something very important to see, because during these times, sometimes we think, well, these times, that's why this is going on. But actually, all it does is it's triggering the thoughts that have always been there.
Yes.
They just bring them back up.
Yes.
Like maybe there was a time, especially I know when we were working, where those were much more simmering, those thoughts, almost like I'm not even sure if they're there so much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So you have an opportunity to see they're right up center as soon as they have an opportunity to be triggered. So this is a big opportunity for you. Let's look at it like that to begin with. Okay. So your choice to choose you over everything else, why is that a problem?
Why is that a problem?
Yeah.
Why do I not do it?
Yeah.
Because my thinking usually goes to, I'm a doer, I'm a helper, I'm a caretaker. That's what gives me pleasure. Bring it on. Like, I love that, and that's what I do. And um, so it becomes easier to do it for other people because that feels like then I'm caring for myself because I'm doing what brings me pleasure.
Okay. That's what you tell yourself.
That's what I tell myself.
Right. So let's remember, we're not reporting the news. We're reporting that when I take care of somebody else, it makes me feel good.
That's right.
There's no problem with that, right? Unless you don't got enough to give out. And then it's a problem. Right?
That's right.
If you're thinking to yourself, first them and then me, like it makes me feel better to take care of them than I feel good about taking care of myself. I feel better
Yes.
taking care of them than taking care of me.
Well, I always feel like I'll get around to me.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, with that thought.
Right.
Like the best thing in the whole world is taking care of other people. Well, there's always somebody to be taken care of and always something to do. Right? So when are you gonna end up on your list? How did you end up on your list? Because you also know how to do it too. You also know
Yes.
how to make yourself a priority. How did you do
Yes.
that?
Scheduling time, accountability, putting it on the to-do list, workout sessions, having a protocol that was, written down that guided me through each day, in terms of eating.
Okay, those are all the things you were doing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
why?
that's
Why? Why were you doing
because
those things?
because I knew that in order to take care of myself, I needed to literally schedule it and make it a priority, as
Okay.
opposed to bumping it down to the bottom.
Okay, so you understand really what your intentional model already is.
Yes, very much so. It
Right?
just
So,
has gone to hell a little bit in the last few
right.
weeks. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, just in the last few weeks?
I mean, from where I had come, working with you, working with a trainer, working on protocol, kind of all the steps that I was taking. I think the story I tell myself now is, well, none of that really matters because,
Why doesn't it matter? Why does none of it matter anymore? Sound like Shauna.
um,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people from, that's not true. Because where I go to when I'm just telling myself a story about it, it's like, well, we've got a virus, and it's I got my girls home, and I've got to take care of them and my dogs and my sons and the people that I'm helping through my work, and so there'll be time. I'll go back on protocol later. I'll go back to working out later. I'll go back to whatever. This right now, this is a crisis, and this is crisis mode. Which coincidentally is generally why I eat late at night when I'm not hungry, is because I think, well, screw it. I'm fat tonight. I'll be fat tomorrow. I might as well eat something that tastes good. It's the crisis. It's the kind of like, right now I don't need to deal with it because nothing I do right now is really going to change it. This is just, it will all be a new day tomorrow, and I'll deal with it tomorrow.
Okay. How would you answer that? Because none of it matters anymore. This is a crisis. That's one of your thoughts that I put in here. But also, you're saying that it's not going to change anything immediately.
That's right.
Nothing's going to change.
That's right.
Which one do you think is stronger? I want everybody to hear this because everybody's got lots of thoughts, but when you're modeling, you pick a thought that seems the strongest. They're all going to get you to the same place.
It's not going to change anything. It's definitely stronger for me.
I would go with it too. So when you're modeling, you kind of scratch out sometimes. It's not going to change anything, right? So really, it's not the virus, it's just protocol and eating. It's more that, isn't it? Or is it just taking care of yourself in general?
I would say it's mostly protocol and eating. It's the sleep thing for me is still the self-care that comes in terms of knowing I need more sleep and fighting that is probably second. But I would say I do most damage to myself in the eating department.
Well, actually, you do the most damage to yourself there.
I'm sorry. I allow my thoughts
right,
to
which
derail
is
me on the eating more than anything.
Good for you. And it's really good to see why it's so important to be able to learn how to manage your mind better now, because there's more things coming up that makes you believe that now is not a good time.
That's right.
That's all.
That's right.
That's all. If it wasn't this, it'd be something else.
That's right.
Right. So we might as well get it with this and get stronger with this, because right now what you're deciding is it's really not a good time to get strong. It's way too hard, and this is way too fun, and it's way too comforting.
Yeah, and there's way too many, bigger things to worry about. So what's my problem? Why do I worry about that? I could be sick with a virus, or, it's easier to put it on the back burner.
Okay, I'm going to leave it at this because that's another good one right there. It's easier to put on the back burner. I mean, I just want you to see this because it's like the more concentrated your mind is when you watch your mind, the more you're going to see this, which is another thing that I think is really important for you to commit to for yourself, is to take like 5 minutes a day. And I'm saying this for everybody, where you get your thoughts out on paper so you can see them. Because you can see, just talking to me right now, you're seeing them a little bit more clearly. Yes?
Yes.
You're hearing me, right?
Yes.
And you're going, wait, oh my, like your smart part of your brain is going, you're thinking that? You're thinking that? Oh my gosh, no wonder, right?
Yes.
Right, because here's the thing, it's not going to change anything. This is a crisis. The feeling is kind of like hopeless.
Yeah.
Is it hopeless, or is it, let's have a party, let's celebrate, entitlement?
I would say it's probably more hopelessness, and that's probably gotten, I don't know that you want to hear this, but
No, it's up. It's just your head. It's just your thought.
yeah,
Go ahead,
it's
say
just
it.
when I think about the feeling, it's gone from trying to say this in a way that uses
No,
your training,
no,
but
don't use my training. Just think.
no, but like I used to worry, I used to be concerned, and I would go back to eating, well, or on protocol, because oh my goodness, I now, I need to think about finding someone to love me, and so I need to look presentable to someone, for someone to love me, and I'm so far away from that why even bother?
Mhm.
That's where the hopelessness falls.
So is the main reason that you want to lose weight is so somebody will love you again?
Um, n- uh, the main reason I want to lose weight is because I want to feel like my outer shell represents what I feel, the worthiness that I feel as a person that I have. I want I want to look that way to people on the outside, the way that I feel um, on the inside.
Okay. You would think that would be compelling, but it's not. It's not. And I know, and you think that what we see on the outside, we decide how worthy you are by what we're looking at, is what you think, even though you know
Yes,
better, even though you know better,
yes, yes,
right? But you believe that they don't know better. And so the only thing you can do to let them know how worthy you are is to lose weight.
yes.
It's interesting that you think that, that's what's really coming up here. It's like, we're going to have to start a whole new model. Because now you're saying, I can't even go out. Who cares? It doesn't matter anymore. Tell me where I'm wrong.
That I'm thinking it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, because why is it not important? Like, you want somebody to love you. That's the reason you want to do, that's the reason you want to lose weight.
I d-
Yes, it is.
well,
You said it. Everybody
uh,
heard it. We could run
I
it back.
did.
You did
No, I
say it.
did.
You can't take it back.
No, I did. That's not the only reason.
I know
Um,
that, but it's what brought down the tears.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
what
it's my wanting it's wanting my children to see me being successful at something that has been a struggle for me for my entire life. It's wanting my business partners to see that. It's wanting to be able to, have a man at some point look at me as a potential, partner, as
I'm going.
opposed to just an old lady, a fat old lady. It's multifaceted, I guess. It's not like I'm sitting here wanting a man, because that's not me. I mean, I would love to find companionship again in my life, but and I put myself out there, and I don't necessarily run away because I'm worried, oh, nobody's gonna love a fat woman. But I just feel like it's on so many fronts. It's so it
I want to stop
feels.
you. I'm going to
Yeah.
stop you for a minute.
Okay.
I'm going back to that nobody can love me the way I look. And you can put it towards a man, you can put it towards anybody you
Right.
want,
Okay.
but it's what brought the tears, and it's what brought you to the truth in your heart. And so you want to look at it. It's like, maybe you don't see that thought, but it is infecting you on a regular
Mhm.
basis. If you're worried about the virus, I'd be very worried about this thought, because it's really infecting you now and you don't see it. But it's that for your it could be a man, it could be your children, it could be whatever it is. But whatever it is, it's somebody outside there, and how they're going to feel about you depends on what you look like. And you know what? It's just really not very compelling, because that's not how you want to be known. You don't want to be known for what you look like on the outside. You want somebody to know you on the inside. We all do. We all want to be seen. Seen. Not seen on the outside. I hope you like what you see. Not that kind of seen. We want to be seen. We want to be seen. Who we are on the inside. You like that part. That's the only thing you have to show. That's who you are. And you're going, no, that doesn't matter. And you're making it
No,
mean,
I understand it matters. I just
no.
no, it matters. It it totally matters, and it feels out of sync with the shell, with the package.
Okay. So let's just watch. I just want you to see the model of that thought. Okay. You want to look at it?
Sure.
Nobody will love me the way that I look. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you write that, the nobody is me.
Well, not yet. Right now, that's not what you're thinking. I mean, you said nobody, you said a man. I mean, I could just put there, but then you
Okay.
said, I really want my kids to see something differently. I want my partners to see something differently. I want them to see that my outside, that I can control my out, like the control of how I look on the outside,
Yes.
right? And if it was so meaningful, you probably would do it. It's not
One would
meaningful enough. It's not
one would
meaningful.
think, yeah.
One
Yeah.
would think, right? But it's like in the end, we all really just want to be seen. That's really what we all want. So I just want you to look at when you said nobody will love me the way that I look. I mean, we're talking about self-care. And the thought that nobody will love me the way that I look and it makes you feel hopeless. And the action is overeat, use food to feel better, take care of other people,
Yeah.
of course, take care of other people a lot, right? I mean, probably you ruminate in your mind and tell yourself things. Probably go off into the future, which is really interesting because a mind that doesn't concentrate likes to go backwards and forwards all the time. So with you, your mind probably goes off into the future, imagining how this will never occur. Right?
Right.
So you ruminate, and then my guess is, knowing you, you also go in the past and think about your other marriage.
Yes.
And you don't think about it in a nice, positive way that makes you feel good.
I do.
Doubt it.
Well, I mean, I do both, but
Right. But I'm saying that when you feel hopeless, I doubt you're taking yourself to any happy place.
yeah,
Because
probably not. Yeah.
you're taking yourself to places that agree with the hopelessness.
Yes.
It
That's
has
right.
to, right? And so the result is you, which you said, you don't love you. Based on the thought that nobody will love me the way that I look, you don't love you the way that you look. And nothing changes.
Right.
Right? So when you talk to yourself like that, you're not really reporting the news. Because you know that's not really true. Right?
What's not really true?
Nobody will love you the way that you look right now.
That's right. I know that's not true. I know that's not true. Because I have a lot of people who love me.
Right. But so I really think you're referring more to a man.
Yeah, I have no idea if that's true with a
No,
man.
you, when it's up in your head, you do believe it.
You think I believe that somebody will love me or that nobody will
No,
love
I
me?
think you believe nobody will love you with the way that you look. I don't think a man will love you. That's the way this whole thing started. That was the thought that came out with the two.
Yeah.
And I just put
Yeah.
nobody because you added a lot of people, but just keep it with, you can never find a man. You really want to find a man, don't you? Like you would really like to end up in a relationship.
Yeah. I mean, it makes me prickly when you say you really want to find a man because
You would really like to be in a relationship. I mean, you can
I don't want to give up on love at 56 years old. That makes me sad.
Okay, good. Well, if you don't want to give up on love, then you don't want to be thinking that, because you are giving up. With the thought, you're giving up. Not the body, the thought. You could put in your result, giving up. That's the result of the thought. Now, what's the good news here, Heidi? Come back to me for a second. What's the
I'm
good
here.
news? What's the good news here? Tell me what the good news is.
Well, it's just a thought and I could change it.
Good. That's right. The only thing here is that it's a thought. The way you look, all of it are facts. Whatever you weigh, all of that. The only thing that's infecting all of this is your mind about that and creating a result to prove that that's true. So you got to know that if we can just tinker with that thought a little bit, and that's what I want to do with you now before I move on to somebody else. I want to tinker with the thought without creating the model. You're going to create the model, and maybe somebody else can even help us with it. But you have to know that when you think a man won't love me with the way that I look right now, and it makes you feel hopeless, and so what you do is you just eat more to prove that. To prove it. See? And I'm still look the same way. I'm eating, I look the same way, and nothing's happening. And there's no way something could be happening because you're keeping yourself from it happening. You're keeping yourself from it.
I understand that, yeah.
Okay. So for now, what I want you to think about this is a man won't love me with the way that I look. You see what it's creating. So think about it in a different way. How do you want to be loved? How do you want to love? What kind of relationship do you want? Do you want somebody that just likes what they see on the outside?
Nope.
What kind of relationship do you want? I mean, like, I think you've done so much work on yourself, right? That makes you feel so good about yourself in so many different ways. That's a big selling point. Like, how about that part? How about the part of what Heidi likes and what Heidi wants to share?
Yeah.
More than how you look, because it's like men and partners are so interesting because they see the way they see, the way we see through our vision is not through true vision. It's through how our brain's perception is of whatever it is we're looking at, which is just amazing to me. That even when you look at yourself, you're not really looking at yourself. You think you are, but you're looking at yourself through glasses, through your perception about how you think about yourself. And it doesn't help you do anything good for yourself. And I think like what helped you the most is the more you started loving on yourself and having more fun and doing good things for yourself, the more it was easier to do good things for yourself. It's like,
Right.
hey, you know, this is kind of fun.
Right.
Hey, this feels really good. Hey, you know what? I actually like myself. I mean, we went through a lot of, in the beginning with you, a lot of loathing. And you came out on the other end with a lot of loving on
Yes.
yourself. And it felt
Yes.
so good. And you sent me so many emails about how much you loved yourself. You do remember that, right?
I do, yeah.
Right.
No, I've made a lot of progress, and I obviously still have some
Right.
thoughts
And
that are
so
not very loving.
right. And so the only thing I want you to be aware of is that's still there and it's in your way. And it's
Yes.
good to know. Don't use it as punishment. Just use it as, hey, that would be a really good thought to work with, to change, because it's in my way of anything, of what I want. Relationships, all relationships, right? In your way, you think that somebody's looking at you and what they see is how they think about you. You're thinking for other people, and you want to change other people's opinions of you by losing weight. You're not in control of what people think of you. You never have been. You can lose all the weight in the world, and it's not going to change how people think about you. And if it does, you won't know because you're not in their heads. The only thing you're in control of is what you think of you, and that is a problem right here. You got that, girl?
I do.
You have any ideas on thoughts?
Something that I can believe, right?
I got one for you.
Okay.
Just add, as long as I think. Nobody will love me the way that I look. Nobody will love me the way that I look. It's just going to be your perception. It's just what your perception is anyway. It's not what really people are thinking. You don't know. It's going to be, you're going to get to keep your own perception by thinking it. As long as I think it. Add that so that you're not reporting the news. That all that means is if I thought something different, I would feel and see something different. I would see a different reality. I would stop being in people's heads about what they think about me and start wondering and believing and helping myself with what I think about me, because that's where the control is, with what you think about you. You're in other people's heads. Okay, all I got to do is lose weight, and then for sure, a man's going to love me because they're going to love what they see. And for sure, my kids are now going to have so much more respect for me. You're in their heads. And it's not compelling because you can't control them. You got some work to do on that, sister.
Yeah.
I want you to take a deep breath. And I want you to say that, as long as I think.
As long as I think, nobody will love me the way I look, comma, nobody will love me the way I look.
Because it's like when it's nobody will love me the way that I look, it's because I will perceive that nobody will love me the way that I look. It's your perception anyway. This is your perception. This is not the truth. That's not the truth.
That's right.
I mean, untangling that in your brain, you have to really practice this.
Well, I do, because immediately I go to, well, that's a nice thought, but you know.
As long as I think.
Yeah.
As long as I think. And start working on the concentration exercises on yourself to help strengthen your mind, because it's all you've got. Right? And your mind is capable of feeling like you're on top of the world, and your mind can put you on the bottom. And the only one that controls your mind is you. Don't forget it.
Okay.
All right. I think it'd be really good to email me in the next week or so and talk to me about how this stuff is working in your head. And then we can follow through with it. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Deb.
My goodness, this is going to help a lot of people. I mean, one way or the other, there's a lot of people that think like this. Okay. I'm going to move you back. Okay. Does somebody want to be coached? Somebody want to raise their hand? Somebody? Come on. Okay, Diane, I'm bringing you on. Okay, you can talk. You should be able to talk to me, and I'm promoting you the panelist. Diane? I see you. I see you. I hear you. There she is. There she is. She's all hooked up and ready to go. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
You're doing okay. Well, let's see if we can make you from okay to a little bit up. Tell me what's going on.
Well, you know, I relate to Heidi a lot.
Of course.
So what I was, as she was talking and all, and you were doing the model, the thing that I, kind of thought to myself was, because I have been off protocol since I've been home, with retirement. I just have not been doing protocol. Now, I will say that the last couple of days I've been going for a walk, getting some exercise, which I hadn't been doing either. I was eating, not exercising. I was totally off. But what I wrote down, and I know we've talked about it before,
Yep.
but I don't know how to get past it, is my circumstance would be self-care also. But I wrote down, I don't want to, I don't feel like it.
Okay.
And I don't know, how to get around that and why. I wrote what you said, as long as I
As
don't
long as I
want,
think.
as long as I think, right, I don't want to, I'm not going to do anything.
As long as I think I don't want to, I won't want to.
Right. But I don't know how to get past that and what the problem is with me and why don't I want to.
Well, you tell me, why don't you want to?
The first thought that comes to my mind is I don't feel like it. But what does
Right.
that mean? What does
Well,
that mean?
you tell me, why don't you feel like it? It sounds like such an innocent thought. I just don't feel like it. Yeah, well, you know what? I didn't really feel like coming on this call today. I was kind of tired, to tell you the truth. But I'm still here.
Right.
So those thoughts come.
So it's obviously not important enough to me.
Okay, tell me what's not important enough to you.
To get back on on protocol.
Okay, why isn't it important enough for you to get on protocol?
I don't know. Because
Yes.
You're saying I know.
I'm saying guess why you're not getting back on protocol.
Because it's easier not to.
Okay, well, that's why. Yeah, it's easier
And
not to.
Right, but that goes to when I think about it, when we talked in the beginning,
Yeah.
and I said things were hard, you were like, it was something I wasn't supposed to say. So
that's what I said is not something you're supposed to say. Do you think I really said that? You're not supposed to say that?
that it's hard, that it's hard.
Well, what I mean is that when you think that it's hard, how does it make you feel? Like some things can be hard and you just go and just give it to me. I'm going for it.
Right, right.
Right? So can you do hard things?
Yes, of course.
Well, yes, of course. So why don't you want to? I mean, for you, you're just saying, you know what? It's just easier not to do it.
And I don't
Okay.
get that.
Huh?
I don't get that because I don't feel good when I'm not following protocol, when I'm
Are you
eating
sure?
right.
You don't feel good when you're not following protocol? When you're not following the eating plan that you want to be doing, which really basically is your protocol basically, I mean, the problem usually with you was eating at night and and your protocol was pretty good during the day. Is that still how it is?
No, I've been, I'm trying to get myself back at least on the having a healthy, lunch and things like that. But
so you're not doing that?
No.
Okay. So you're really changing
Yes.
your protocol.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Okay. So do you think that this has to do with retirement?
Somewhat, probably because I'm home more.
You
and
think?
Now with the, right, of course. And now with the virus, have to, be home. So, but that's not an excuse. I mean, I still could be eating healthy.
No, I think it's a great excuse. I think you're using it too.
I'm using the excuse of being home.
You're saying something to yourself about being home. You're saying something to yourself about retirement. You're thinking something different that's causing you to do something very different.
Right.
So you're not following your protocol, which is so interesting because for you, when you were working, is you always had healthy lunch, healthy breakfast. healthy
Absolutely.
dinner, and then it was
Mhm.
nighttime where you wanted to joy eat,
Right.
overjoy eat, and so
Yes.
you started really working on that, and then you started planning your joy eats, and that was your protocol, was
Mhm.
a planned joy eat at night,
Right. And
right?
I've gained a significant amount of weight
Oh,
being
how
home these
much?
2 months.
How
How
much?
much?
Yeah.
Um, Probably over 10 pounds. And that's in 2 months.
Okay. All right. So let's look at the model,
Okay.
because part of the result will be gaining 10 pounds, probably.
Mhm.
Your action is not following your protocol, totally changing your daytime protocol.
Mhm. I mean, I'm at my heaviest that I've ever been, which,
Congratulations.
but
Right. And yeah, go ahead.
the only thing I can say is that I am, from everything that we went to, I am saying to myself, and I don't know if it's a good thing or not, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. I'm trying not to beat myself up too much. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but
To
I
not beat
keep saying,
yourself up.
right, to not beat myself up and to say, I'm going to get there. Like, I know I'm going to get there. I'm just struggling to get there.
Mhm. Okay. So what do you think you're thinking about this retirement? Because before the virus, this was pretty much going on,
Right.
right? So
I
I'm not
I
even
am
sure the
very,
virus isn't even in it. I mean, we
mhm,
can include it.
mhm. I actually am happy with retirement.
Are
I
you?
I I am. I am. I love the fact that I don't, have to have all that pressure, and this and that. I like being home. I mean, right now I have, my son,
Yeah.
home with us.
Yes.
So, that has been, I love having him here, but it's a lot, a little bit more extra pressure. But I don't know. I feel like I'm generally happy, except for the fact that I'm not following protocol.
Right. But maybe you're actually happy that you're not following protocol. Maybe for you, this is all part of the dream, is to be able to not work, not have pressure, and just be able to eat whenever you want and do whatever you want. Because why not? I mean, like, how long do you think I'm going to live? Like, when can I do what I want to do? Maybe now is the time. And maybe you think eating is part of it.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. What do you think?
I would rather be healthy and feel good about myself.
No, you wouldn't. You're not doing that.
I
That's not
know
what
I'm
you would
not.
rather do. That is not what's going on in your mind at all. That's what you're telling me, but that is not the result. So that's not what you're thinking. That's what you'd love to think it. You'd love to believe that you really want to be healthy and that it would make you feel empowered and you would do the things and get the result, but that's not what's running you. You're saying, I want to be healthy, and your brain goes, bullshit. Who cares? Why?
But
Why? But why don't you care?
I feel like I do care. I
But
just
tell me
can't
why
do
you
it.
don't care.
Why don't I care?
Yes.
I
Like when you go to eat your lunch, why isn't it a healthy lunch? And why aren't you eating between the twos? What do you tell yourself? You don't tell yourself, I care and I'm going to do the right thing. You
right.
tell yourself something else.
I tell myself I just want it. And it goes back to what, even when I was doing Weight Watchers, and the leader would say something when I was complaining, it's like, she was like, stop being a child. It's because I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's what
you
I
are.
want to do. So
Okay.
how do I
Well,
get out of that?
okay. So let's talk about how you get out of it, but let's just talk about how you're getting into it.
Okay.
Okay. The reason that you're getting into it is because you want it. You're telling
Yes.
me I don't want it, but you do want it. So first you've got to see that you are doing what you want to be doing.
Okay.
I want it and I can have it.
Okay. And I did write that down.
Yes, I know.
No.
It's good.
Oh no, I wrote down I don't want to. I put down Yeah. Okay. And I put down, it makes me happy for the moment.
Okay, I think that's probably true. I want it and I can have it, period. I mean, it's like, hey, let's have a
Right.
party. I want it and I can have it.
Right.
Right. But you see, you're telling me now, you go, I don't want that. That's what I'm
Got it.
saying, but you do,
Okay. Okay. All right. So
right?
be true to myself.
Right. And you're saying I'm not punishing myself, but I think what you're doing is you're indulging yourself right here. You're calling this not punishment. I'm not punishing myself. I want it and I can have it. I'm not punishing myself. I'm saying go right ahead. And that's not self-compassion and that's not kindness. That's indulging. That's
Okay.
taking a kid with a knife and going, go ahead. You can run all over the place with the knife, sweetheart. Just don't get blood all over the carpet.
And okay.
That's called indulging. Go ahead, eat it. It's okay. I won't get mad at you. It's not a problem. I want it and I can have it. And the feeling is entitlement and huge urges. Huge urges. As soon as you say I can have it and I want it, it's like you can just probably feel like, oh, I feel like this. Oh, wouldn't this be nice? Oh, I would want that. And your little brain starts thinking of some things you could be eating, which follows to not following your protocol. You change your daytime protocol and you eat foods that probably aren't your healthiest choices.
Absolutely.
And what do you tell yourself after you do it day after day? It's okay, sweetheart. No problem. I love you anyway.
That's what I've been trying to do.
That's not what you're doing. That's not what you're
The
doing.
right thing.
That's not what
No.
you're doing, though, I don't think. I don't think you're saying no problem. You're saying, why are you doing this? I don't get it. What's going on here? I don't know. What's going on? I don't know. Why won't you stop? That's not compassion. That's what's wrong with you.
I don't, I just don't feel like that. I'm beating myself up though as much as I used to.
Good. I hope not. But I want you to see that there's no self-compassion here.
Because I'm indulging.
You're indulging and you're saying it's okay. As opposed to, you know what, sweetheart, give me the knife. I know you want it. I know it's fun. I know if it seems like a really great idea, just give me the knife. It's really much better if you don't. And it's not going to feel good. That kid's not going to want to give you the knife. It's having fun.
Right. And that's how I feel.
I know.
I would get like almost like a kid. That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm a child having a tantrum.
You are. You want to stop or you want to keep it up?
I would like to try and stop, but I don't know how.
Well, how do you think it's going to start?
I have to change my thinking.
Well, you're pretty smart about that. I know that.
And when I said that, my first thought was, I don't want to.
Right.
Like, I don't feel like it.
I get it. I get it. And how are you going to take her and help her? Because she doesn't feel like it. She doesn't want it. You can't tell her. And you can just keep doing what you're doing, which is what you're doing.
Right. So how do I fix that?
How do I change what I think? You would have to change.
How do I
it. You would
change?
have to want to. If you don't want to, you get to stay the way you are. You have to really want to change what you're thinking. You have to decide that maybe this isn't what I want. What do you want? What do you want right now? What do you want right now during this time? How do you want to come out of all of this? You're in retirement. You want to live purposefully, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, is purposefully part of taking care of yourself so that you can do what you want when you're in retirement?
Yes.
Okay, well, how do you do that? Like, how do you get excited about that when, hey, nothing's going on, I don't have a schedule, nothing matters, and hey, I really want it right now, and I really feel like it right now, and you can't tell me what to do. Then what?
And I have to change my thinking that what's best for me.
Well, it's like, what do you really, really want? You really wanted to retire and you were really confused about that, and it really shook you up, right? And when it
Mhm.
shook you up, it shook a lot of your actions up because your thought is you were so hard on yourself at that time that you weren't
Right.
doing enough, all of that.
Mhm.
So
Right.
is all that gone now? Are you doing enough and everything good?
I mean, I'm not doing as much as I would like, but I am doing,
Okay,
I am doing.
so I'm not doing as much as I like. It's like, how do you end up becoming more of your own best friend? And it's like, it's okay. You don't have to be doing everything. It's okay. But if you want to change the way that you eat, then you're going to have to deal with urges. And the way that I suggest, because that's what I want to talk to everybody today about, is how you deal with the urges. Because your urges are, I want it and I feel like it. It's just a thought.
Okay.
It's
Mhm.
a thought that's creating an urge. My suggestion to you would be is that when you see that, you decide what to do with that thought. I just lost you, just so you know. I can't see you anymore.
Okay, I
Oh, there
know.
you are again.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So I just want you to see that. And so
Okay.
you can have an urge, and the urge is just a kid running around with a knife, or you take the
Mhm.
knife away by either pausing, taking a deep breath. And I'm giving you
Mhm.
all A lines right now, but the thought is I'm stronger than I think, or I know how to do hard things. You're acting
Mhm.
like this is just too hard. I don't really
Right.
like it. I don't really like it. I don't really feel like it. It's like you think
Right.
like I'm talking to an idiot right now, like who's never done anything in her life. Like, I just don't want to. I go, well, you don't have to. Seriously, you don't have to. Right. And you're going, yeah, I know.
Mhm.
And I'm not. It's like, okay, well, we all got that. You don't want to
Right.
and you don't feel like it. And you're proving it over and over and over and over and over again.
I know.
Right. So if you want to create something different, you're going to have to believe or go back to a thought about you that gets in the way of that, which is, I can do strong things. I can do hard things. I would go to something hard. It is going to be hard for a while because the urge is let's just eat it. Let's have a party. Let's just do it. Who cares?
Mhm.
It's like, I just want it.
Right. Right.
So, like, what do you think you were doing? Like, when you used to just plan your joy eats and you would have your joy eats and all the I wants and I feels and all that was out of the way. What were you thinking then?
Um,
You
that
weren't
would make me
thinking, I just don't, I feel like it and I don't, I mean, I just
right.
feel like it.
Right.
What were you thinking instead?
No, that it makes me feel better. I feel healthy. I feel good. I feel good about myself
I know,
when
but
I'm able to.
how did you stop yourself from doing that? You had to
You,
have a thought that created the action where you really started paying attention. You
I
really
don't.
started noticing the refrigerator or whatever was going on, there was food, and it
Mhm.
just didn't matter.
Right.
That's how you would talk to me. You know what? I knew it was there, but I didn't care. Now
Right.
you know it's there and you care a lot,
Right.
right?
It's
And the
like
only reason is,
you get into that like habit. It's like,
no, it's a
you know,
thought.
right. It's a thought. Okay. The thought, right. And the thought keeps saying, "Oh, this is okay. I'll get to it like later,"
Okay, so
type of
what do you
thing.
want to think instead? Because that's not working.
Okay.
I mean, I can sit and
Um,
indulge you in this thinking for
yes.
another
Yep.
15 minutes
Yep.
because
I
that's
hear
what
you.
you want to do. You just want to say, like, let me just show you some more things of how I don't want to do this. That's what you're doing to yourself, and that's what you're doing here. I just want everybody to see. It's like you're just trying to convince all of us, like, hey, I just don't care right now. I just don't care. And I don't really feel like it. I go, okay, I believe you. I
Right.
believe you don't care, and I believe you don't feel like it. If you want to stay here, you can, because you're indulging in that thinking. You're
Okay. Okay.
indulging yourself in that feeling, and you're giving yourself the actions and the results that you don't want. And then you say, but I don't want that.
Right.
What do you want?
Okay. And I want to feel healthy.
I don't think that's true.
Um, I don't know.
Okay, so this is what I think where I would go with you, and anybody else that's thinking about this is I want to believe I'm stronger than I think. I want to stop indulging myself in things that don't help me.
Okay.
You got to
Okay.
talk to
Strong.
yourself. You need some tough love, sweetheart.
I know. And that's what I don't do.
That's what you should do and can do right this minute. Don't go to me
Okay.
and say, oh, I don't do that either. It's just like we're just going down the same rabbit hole over
Got
and
it.
over and over again. It's a rabbit hole. Stop it.
Okay. I'm stronger than I think. I like that.
I can do things. I can stop myself. This isn't that hard. I've done it before.
Okay.
Right? And you're going to have the urges. And when the urge comes, are you willing to let it pass and eat what you need to eat? Are you willing to do it and feel uncomfortable? You're uncomfortable right now. You're telling me I'm uncomfortable with this extra 10 pounds. I'm uncomfortable with watching myself do things I don't want to be doing, that I do want to be doing, that I don't want to be doing, that I do want to be doing, that I don't want to be doing, that I do want to be doing. I'm uncomfortable with that, but I want to do it. So there.
All right. I'm stronger than I think. Okay.
You know, it's like, you know what, sweetheart? I love you. It's almost like this self-love, like I love you enough to say, stop it. I love you enough to say, it's over. Stop it.
Yeah.
I love you enough, Diane, to tell you to stop it. I've screamed at you before. Everybody knows I scream at all of you. So it doesn't matter. I'm screaming at you because you need a little screaming right now. Raising my voice a little bit and say, you got to do the same thing in your head. And it's like with me, like, do you think I'm being mean to you or kind to you, even though I'm screaming at you?
Oh, kind.
I'm kind, right? But I'm screaming at you. So if you want to scream at yourself in a kind way, because it's tough, I'm being tough with you. I'm not going down the rabbit hole with you again. Like you're ready to take me down again and go, you know, please tell me I really want to do it. I don't want to do it. I want to do it. I go like, okay, stop it.
Okay.
All of you that are listening, sometimes it's like, I love you, sweetheart. Stop it.
Thank you.
Okay. I love you. Stop it.
Thank you.
All right, let's see who else. Let's see who else we can help today. It's like everybody's got the same thing. And that's what's the most important thing to see is you're not alone. All right. All right, sweetheart. Let's see who else I can pull up here. All righty. Who else wants to be coached? I'm on a rampage. Who wants to be yelled at? Come on, somebody raise your hand or I'm just calling on somebody. I wonder who I want to coach today. Who needs it? Who needs a head change? I haven't talked to Maria. Maria, do you want to be coached today? Do you need something to be coached on, or are you just like, great? You know what I'm going to do? Maria, I'm going to the doctor Wednesday. Wait, let me read what she says. For a biopsy. Okay. Do you want to be coached on it? You're so worried. You want to talk about it? Okay, good. All right. I'm bringing you up. Okay. A little bit of a different theme. All right. Let me get Maria. I'm promoting you, Maria. Oh. And I'm unmuting you. And you should be able to turn your camera on. There she is.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Well, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. That's what I'm at right now.
Yeah. I know.
Sweetheart. All right. So,
well, it's real interesting because I was so worried about the virus for so long. And you just have to be careful what you wish for. Like, I didn't want to have to worry about it. So for the last 3 weeks, I've had to go to the gynecologist every week for a blood test, an intrauterine ultrasound, and on Wednesday I go in for a uterine biopsy. They're just going to take a piece of the lining because apparently it's a little thick.
Okay.
Than they would like to see. So I was really worried after that point when the doctor told me that. But I re-listened to your latest podcast, I think episode 208, about it's just a circumstance. I don't need to think about the future. I just can look at going into the biopsy as a circumstance, and then I can worry about what the results are later. So
How's that working for you?
it's actually pretty good.
I don't think
Because-
so.
You don't think so?
I don't think it's working.
I mean, it's still very worrisome,
Right. So
but
yeah, let's go there first. Let's go
Yeah.
there. Like, you think you shouldn't be worried?
no, I should be worried.
Well, what I'm
I
saying is
am worried.
you are
I'm trying
worried.
to comfort myself. I'm trying to get some sleep, get some peace of mind about it. So I do need to admit that I'm worried, and I do need to let the feelings come through that I am scared.
That's what I just want to start with you first for everybody here. It's like when it comes to the virus and on these emails that I've written, what I'm talking about is that these are opportunities to feel what the heck you're feeling. You can't push it away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So
So
it's
used to pushing
okay.
it away.
Right. Right. And so that's what I'm talking about with everybody here is we tend to go back to whatever it is we've always been doing.
Our
And it
coping
just
mechanism.
shows up stronger
Yeah.
right now. Right. And it's really not the virus per se. It's getting a biopsy, right? It's the new C. Right. And when that C is gone, there's going to be another C.
Right. Right.
So first of all, it's like you can be worried and it's okay.
Okay.
And I want you here with me to tell me what it feels like to feel worried. Like, how worried are you about this? If a -10 is the strongest and 0 is neutral, where are you when you think about that?
Probably a 7, I would say.
Where do you feel it?
Well, I've had pain in my abdomen, so
Where do you feel this
the
emotion
pain.
when you're worried?
I'm worried.
It's
In my
pretty strong.
heart.
In your
my
heart, like in
heart.
your chest?
Yeah. Yeah. Like right here, like just right under the breast.
Okay, right. And
The breathing is so. I find that I have to do more deep breathing.
so is probably your shallow breathing. You feel tightness in your chest, heat in your chest, what?
Yeah, tightness, shallow breathing, definitely.
Tightness in the chest. Anything else in your body going on when you just let this feeling be inside of you? Like we're just letting it be. We're just letting it be.
My back.
Low back? What do you feel?
Well, probably tension, because I'm trying to probably fight the tension.
Yeah. So you feel tension in your low
Yeah,
back?
that's kind of my go-to place.
Okay, good to know. Low back tension. What else?
Shoulders kind of get tight and tense up, you know.
Okay. Anything else? Anywhere?
Right in my jaw gets tight. And that yeah.
Good. You're feeling tightness in your jaw. So now you're in your body and you're feeling it. You're just feeling it. Okay. What's making you feel so worried?
Because I awfulize things.
What are you thinking that's making you feel worried?
Is, this could be cancer. And then I talk to myself about, well, you know, there's other reasons for this to be happening. And
But
I
this
had
is
a,
the thought that's
yeah,
creating the fear.
of course, that's the
worry.
biggest dark cloud. Yeah.
It could be cancer, right?
Mhm.
And so when you think the thought
Mm-hmm.
about, you know, getting the ultrasound,
Yeah.
et cetera, that's the circumstance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The
Doing
biopsy.
biopsy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the one they're doing Wednesday.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Biopsy on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yep, we're just getting all our C's, getting the facts down, right? We know, and
Mhm.
what you, of course, you know that all circumstances are neutral, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is really good to know. But we also
Mhm.
know that you have a thought that's triggered
Right.
by the circumstance that's creating a very strong worried feeling inside of you
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
you're feeling in your chest, in your shoulders, in your low back, in your jaw, everywhere, and it's tight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the reason that you have that feeling is because you think that thought.
Right. Right.
Right.
And
So
I've
here-
been trying to talk myself out of it for
And that's what I'm
days.
saying is what
Yeah.
I'm helping you do is that your model before today was the A line is talking yourself out of it, telling yourself
Mhm.
you shouldn't feel it,
Mm-hmm.
going into the future and scaring yourself even though you shouldn't be feeling anything,
Right.
right? And so the result is that it's kind of like you're already experiencing the diagnosis
Yeah.
and it hasn't
Yeah.
happened yet.
Right. Right.
That's what's going on right now,
Mhm.
right? So I just think it's interesting to see it. And I just want to change the model here a little bit with you right now is that you're
Mhm.
just sitting here with it
Mm-hmm.
and you're still sitting and you're with me. Look at me.
Mm-hmm. I am.
I'm looking at
I'm
you.
yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm looking at you. We're here right
Mhm.
now. We can see all this is what's going on. This is what
Mhm.
it feels like when I'm this worried.
Right.
And it's okay.
Mhm.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's really
Mhm.
okay. This is just what worry feels like.
Right. Right.
This is what worry feels like when I tell myself that I think it could be cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I think the A line here is you just allow it.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
allow it and you just go through what we're going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it feels like when I'm worried.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel it. And it's okay.
Yeah.
And the most beautiful thing about feelings as we're in it is that it will pass
Mm-hmm.
without you doing anything.
Right. Right.
Without you doing anything.
Right.
It will pass.
Mm-hmm.
It will pass through you.
Right.
And you're just allowing it to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing has gone wrong right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? What you're afraid of the most is the feeling,
Right.
right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
This is
Right.
what you've been trying to stay away from.
Mm-hmm.
You think that what you're trying to stay away from is this.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
But
I
what you're
have been
doing
afraid
is-
of my feelings. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes worry is scary and fear is scary when what
Yeah.
it feels like in the body.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like once you realize, well, I can feel this.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it. And I'm still here. I'm still talking. Everybody here that's listening is learning how to feel their feelings. So you're helping other people at the same time. Because a lot of people just don't want to feel. They would rather push it away in their A line.
Yeah.
Push it away, pretend like it doesn't exist. And it's not taking away from the teachings. Because if you listen to me on my podcast, I'm telling you to feel the feelings too.
Yes, exactly. I had to listen 3 times to that podcast.
Right. So I probably should do another podcast on just taking somebody through feeling the feeling.
Yeah.
Because I think
well,
it's
it
really
was,
and what you'll do not to feel the feeling is what ends up in your A line when you don't let yourself,
right.
as opposed to just let yourself.
Right.
Like, I think you can handle it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have in the past with my daughter.
You're handling it right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We don't have to go in the past. We don't have to go
Right.
anywhere. Right now, right
Mhm.
here,
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling it, and it's
Mhm.
okay, and it'll pass.
And I'm still here.
And you're still here. Right. And so how's it feeling now as we're talking about it?
It feels good to just give myself permission to feel it.
Yeah. And do you think that it's loosening its grip a little bit, maybe
Yeah.
not so strong?
I just took a giant deep breath,
Yes.
which I don't think I have done since Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And that's the beauty of allowing a feeling to come through. It's just a
Mhm.
feeling. These feelings don't feel good,
No.
right? But what you've been doing has been feeling worse,
Right.
keeping it at bay.
Right. Right. Push it away.
It's not there. And you've been using the teachings as a
Mhm.
way of punishing yourself. Like,
Oh.
oh, we're just, it's just a circumstance. It's like, you're right. It really is just a circumstance. But right now, your brain is saying, "But I'm so scared."
Yeah. Okay.
Right? And you're going,
I
no, no,
see
no,
what you're
no, no,
saying.
no. Oh, no, 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 no,
Mm.
no, no, no. You're not scared. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. And I still teach that work.
Right.
To recognize our thoughts. I want you to recognize that this is what's causing this,
Yeah.
not that.
Not that. And I've been blaming the sea.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've been blaming yourself for not being able to
Well,
make it a neutral circumstance,
Right. Right.
right? And it's like, it is a neutral circumstance, but it's not feeling very neutral right now because of this.
Mm-mm.
And this
Mm-mm.
is not changeable right now because it's strong.
Right.
And when you're in strong emotions, sometimes there's nothing you can do but feel it. And the beauty about feeling it is that if you let it start passing through
Mm-hmm.
and it starts loosening its grip,
Mm-hmm.
then you can start looking at your model.
Okay. Okay.
Then you can start looking at it. Once you go, okay, well, okay, so I can feel it. It's like, it's okay, I can feel it. It's like, okay,
Okay.
that's what worry feels like. Like
Okay.
nothing has happened yet.
Right. Right.
But my guess is, and I'm just saying this, it's so interesting that if something would happen and you would get that diagnosis, I don't think you'd feel any worse than what you feel.
Mm.
It couldn't be that much
I'm
stronger.
already prepared. So.
And I think that's what happens to us
Yeah.
is it's almost like we're preparing ourselves. And I think what a lot of spiritual teachers teach is that the anticipation of something negative
Mm-hmm.
sometimes creates more harm to us
Mm-hmm.
than the actual event that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because of how our minds play with us.
Right.
Because in this moment, there's nothing you can do.
Right. There's nothing I can do.
There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing you can do because there's nothing to
Mm-hmm.
be done. You just have a mind that's going, but what about this? But what about that? But
Mm-hmm.
what about this? What about
Mm-hmm.
that? Oh, and I heard this and I heard that. And everything that I'm talking about with Sharon Salzberg, because you're going to start using
Yep.
that book,
Yep.
is that's what she talks about. That's what the mind always does.
Yep.
Right? And it's like when you start to use week 1 and you start learning how to concentrate, it's like you just start coming back. When I say coming back to the breath, it could be just coming back to a strong feeling.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right? Like when we're meditating, sometimes we're going to come back and we can't come back to the breath because we're noticing feelings. And we're just,
Okay.
so we label them feelings, or we
Okay.
can label it worry, but it's still just a label.
Right.
But we start learning how to get our minds working like that, concentrating, not letting it flit all over the place, which is all your mind is really doing right now. It's flitting and flaring, and you're just going, stop it, stop it, stop it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's just like coming back to this is just what it feels like.
Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah.
It is what it is right now. Yes. And so just to offer some things before we end is for you to realize that it could be a lot of things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And it's like, what do you want to think about any of it that you
Mm-hmm.
might know now that you were scaring yourself too much to know before? What do you want yourself to know?
That everything will be okay, no matter what.
or that I'm still here for you no matter what,
Right, right.
right? Like, hey, I can go through worry with you.
Mm-hmm.
I can go through anything with you.
Yeah.
I've got you. I've got your back.
Yeah.
It's like when we can depend on ourselves no matter what, it's just helpful.
Yeah.
It's just helpful that it's the same thing with meditation. It's like when you can go in instead of out, when you can go in,
Mm-hmm.
there's a place inside that is yours. We call it home. It's peace. It's beneath all of it. You can learn how to do that. Now's a better time. Now's never been a better
Yeah,
time for
right.
you to learn it. No matter what.
Right.
No matter what. Life is impermanent. That's been the truth all along.
Mm-hmm.
It just is. We're all going to die. That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And we all don't get to choose when. And
Right.
probably most of us don't want to.
Right.
Right? But we have something right in front of us. You do right now, right in this moment. You have your life right in front of you right now that's meant to be lived.
Sure.
And you can live it with worry, and then you can let it pass, and then you can move on to the next moment. And there will be another moment, and there will be another moment, and it
Right.
will come and it will go.
Mhm.
And you will learn more and more how to do that. And then when worry comes in, you can let it. Just, okay, have a seat.
Yeah,
Okay.
make friends with it.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And it's kind of like, when you look at the thought, it could be cancer for a minute. It's like, okay, well, that's just the thought that's there. And then, but you might want to work with it a little bit. It's like,
Mhm.
could be a lot of things. If it's
Yeah.
not that, it could be something else later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. But I think maybe you know something about yourself that might strengthen you now.
Okay.
Right this minute. That can't be taken away by anything. It's
I'm
yours.
always here for myself.
It's yours.
Mm-hmm.
You get to keep it. And you get to work with it, and you get to strengthen it.
Yeah.
And that's the opportunity that's in front of you right now, no matter what.
Right. It's
It's
kind of a
yours.
gift.
If you want to look at it as a gift, you can. Any way you want to look at it, but it's like, if it's not this, it's just going to be something else.
Right. Right.
Right? So it's like we either learn
Mm-hmm.
how to work with it. Pema Chodron wrote a book too that
Yeah.
I'll recommend called Welcoming the Unwelcome.
Mm.
It's a
Okay.
brand new book.
Oh.
And it's all about the idea that, it's like, how do you let what's happening happen?
Right.
Right? How do we welcome what we don't want?
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what we're talking about right now. For you, it's like, how do you welcome worry? How do you welcome the situation when you don't want it?
Mm-hmm.
So life as a human being is we're either holding on to things for dear life called grasping because we want it and we don't want it to change,
Right.
or something happens and we don't want it and we avoid it and we push it away.
Yeah.
Either way, it causes suffering.
Right.
Wanting it or not wanting it. So we have a lot of options here, all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So I thank you for sharing this with all of
Yeah.
us.
Thank you for listening, everybody.
Yep. And we'll find out what's going
Yeah.
on later, and we'll
Yeah.
deal with what's going on later,
Yeah.
just as we're dealing with this right now. That's all
Yeah.
any of us can do.
Thank
Okay?
you. Thank
My
you.
pleasure. Okay, I'm going to put you back, and I'm going to say a few
Okay.
words before
Thank
we
you.
go. All right, my sweetheart. You're all my sweethearts. All right, let's see. Where is my panelist? All right. All right, Marias. Goodbye.
Do I do stop video?
You don't have to do anything.
Okay.
Okay. All right. This has been exciting. Everybody can see we're all so much the same. And it's really important to see that too. And really for this week, Sharon Salzberg, read the first 2 chapters, do week 1, which is working on concentration. 3 times a week, 10 to 20 minutes. Put it on your calendar. I'm going to send you a meditation from her from Insight Timer, so you'll have it. You can use it, or you can go to Insight Timer and find it, but I will send it to you. And that's your homework. And from there, I want you to see if you can become more aware of the thoughts that are creating your urges. Your urge to worry, your urge to eat, your urge to watch a lot of TV, whatever it is, can you start becoming more mindful of that thought? And can you start bringing yourself back to the present moment? Because that's basically what meditation is. That's what I teach, even when we talk about, like, if we stormed or if we fogged, we just come back. What are we coming back to? We're coming back to the present moment. What's going on? That's your work for this week. You guys, it's been big. There's a lot going on, and it's never been a better time to learn how to do this work. So thank you, everybody, for contributing. Let me know if there's anything I can do. Email me anything that you need, and I will see you the 3rd Thursday of this month. Bye.